Hi, folks. Welcome to another edition of 5 Minute Football. We know it isn't 5 minute football, but, we have a laugh anyway. Joined with the football expert, the expert on football, Brendan McGirr. How are you, Brendan?
I'm very good, Liam. Very good. I'm feeling a bit like Groovesy today. I feel we're
Yeah.
saying to Groovesy, I'm going to be Groovesy today.
So I don't mean to be in St. John, am I? Is that what it is? Don't know about that. Don't know about that. So you are the expert. How's the football been this weekend? What did you think about it all?
I think the old Premier League's bubbling along nicely, isn't it? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I did say I think at the start of the season I think Tottenham may have a better season without Harry Kane.
Hmm.
I think that's beginning to show that they're a different team without him. Do you know what I mean? It could be sod's law the season he leaves that they get a bit of silverware.
Well, I don't. You don't want to push it. I can't see. You never know.
Give the old Tottenham boys a little bit of hope. It's early days, but they are up there. I do think that Arsenal are going to nick it at the Emirates this weekend. That's my prediction. I think Arsenal are going to nick it.
Yeah, I mean that's who you're going for. I mean Tottenham are in a great run of form at the moment.
Well, they always seem to like collapse at the Arsenal. They've had a few seasons where they've been doing it. I think was it last season or the season before? I think they were top and Arsenal were third bottom, and Arsenal beat them. And
Yeah.
3 weeks later, it was the other way round. Spurs had dropped right down at the beginning of the season. I'm not sure if it was last season or the season before, but I don't know. It's not a good hunting ground for them, the Emirates. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, so at the moment we've got City top, Spurs second, Liverpool third, and Arsenal fourth. Do we think that that's how it's going to remain?
I think you're probably looking at the basis of the top 4 or 5 teams there by the looks of it. I don't think Chelsea are going to do anything this season. They're probably a sixth or seventh place team if they get a bit of form together.
And of course, Manchester United collapsing left, right, and centre. My team just collapsing. What do you think? They're all going on about Ten Hag should be sacked. Well, what do you think about Ten Hag?
Listen, it's your team, Liam. You probably follow them a lot closer than what I do. But if there's rumours that he's got arguments in the dressing room
Mm-hmm.
at this stage of the season, players aren't happy, the team's not performing, I'm afraid there's only one way it's going to go in it. United will probably be looking for a successor now, unofficially,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not going to be there long, is he? That's too big a club for them not to have success. Do you know what I mean? And in today's world, look, we're Charlton in League One sacked a manager after 5 defeats at the start of the season. So that's a League One club for you. So they got no hope in the fucking Premier League.
I know. You see, folks, and if you watch me on Jason Mariner, you know that I've never liked Ten Hag. I think he's overrated. You know, one of the things I find about him, I find him so boring.
I think he is boring, and I think Man United has always had an air of flamboyancy about managers. Do you know what I mean? Even if you look at Fergie, he was controversial, but he was out there, wasn't he? He didn't mind saying what he thought, and he would more than put manners on any of them players. You know what I mean? So I know that's an old style of management now, and it's probably not what they say is acceptable in the new world of let's be nice to everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the United managers, you Mourinho in recent years, I like Mourinho, and I think he got a tough deal there at Man United after doing quite well. And even now, Solskjaer is starting to look quite good.
Well, and do you know the one I think got a really rough deal
Mm.
was David Moyes. I
Yeah.
don't think he got a fair crack at it. He's took West Ham and got him a European trophy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing well with West Ham. Like you look at him. Had he have been given the right time and support at United, I do think he could have done something there.
Yeah, and that was Fergie's choice actually. So United, they're playing Bayern tonight. They could take a right old beating on that one.
It don't look good for him tonight, doesn't it? With Harry Kane, if he hits a bit of form out there tonight, he'll love to. I genuinely think Kane only went to Bayern Munich because he didn't want to go to another Premier League club because of his love of Tottenham. I think that's part of his move. I'm sure he could have gone to any Premier League club if he'd have wanted, but he was such a Tottenham man. I think he didn't want to have to go up against him in that league.
Yeah, I mean the rumor was that he wanted to go to United. And I mean, do we think it would have been a good move for him? I think it would have been better than the the lad they've got at the moment, although we haven't seen much of him. Was he Hoyland? Would you have gone for Kane instead?
Well, I mean, I'd say Kane's a better player, to be honest, but it's whether Kane would have fitted in and whether he would have been any better there than, you know what I mean? At the moment, it looks like it would have been a disaster going there, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got Jadon Sancho. Do you think Ten Hag has dealt with Sancho well?
But I think if Sancho's got some of them players, you know, in the back there, you know, moaning about how they're playing or whatever, there's unrest in that dressing room. Mm-hmm. That's every manager's worst nightmare. And usually you can't get the better of that. Once it's in there, it's like a cancer. The only way that's going to stop is the manager will have to go and the new one will have to come in with a fresh start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And then they got the problem with Anthony. You know, he's been accused left, right, and centre of different things. So it seems pretty chaotic. And then, of course, you got Harry Maguire. Now, do you think Harry Maguire has been treated badly? A, by the manager, and B, by the kind of press and the fans?
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, I think Maguire should have took a move out of there. If he could have gone to another club at the start of the season, I think it would have been better for him. His career's faltering at Man United, and in reality, he shouldn't be in the England team if he's not a first team player in the Premier League. You shouldn't be playing for England unless you are playing first team football. A bit of loyalty from Southgate, but it showed that he's not been playing first team football when he played the other day, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. He got the own goal. But I mean, Southgate came out and really defended him and said it was outrageous, all the criticism he's had. So do we support Gareth on that?
You're the England manager. You've got to take criticism when it comes. But if you are an England fan, we all know if a player's not playing week in, week out for his team, you're not going to get the best out of him just for one game. You know what I mean? Players can't just switch it on for one game. They need to be in a run of you know, playing regularly and informed, you know what I mean? And I just think, all right, he's got away with it or whatever, but I don't think Harry Maguire could be looked at as an England regular if he's not a first team player at Man United.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I think he could have gone to West Ham or something like that, or Newcastle would have been a good move. Absolutely.
Any of them clubs where he's getting first team football and he could be a real asset to one of them clubs. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
it'd be a new challenge, and he might need to freshen his career up because it does look like it's going a bit stale there. And with the unrest in there, he's in the middle of a bad place there.
Yeah, I could see United getting thrashed tonight by Bayern, and then they got Burnley away on Saturday, which they don't do that well at Burnley. I think, you know, if they lose both of them matches, it could be the end of Ten Hag.
I think, yeah, but I think if they get, you know, everyone would probably accept they're going to get thrashed at Bayern Munich tonight. But yeah, if they don't go and get a result at Burnley, I'd say his job is definitely on the line. Do you know what I mean? A draw at Burnley wouldn't cut it. No. Do you know what I mean? So if they don't get a result there on Sunday, I think they'll be in trouble there.
Yeah, how did you think that England did? Did you care? Did you watch it? Could you be bothered? I mean, they beat Scotland and drew with Ukraine.
Ukraine's players have got a big heart at the moment with what's happening in their country. So, you know what I mean? Good luck to them. They got a draw. We're all sort of be behind them for what's happening to the people. I'm not talking about the war itself, but the people who have to live in there. Yeah. You know, anything that gives them a little bit of morale and makes their day a bit better.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, Brendan did a load of trips out to Ukraine, delivering aid and everything like that. And how was that for you?
It's a rewarding thing to do, to be honest. The first one I've done, it was I've done it as a stand-in because someone couldn't make it. They didn't have a passport, so I went and done it, and it gave me the inspiration. I've done 5 trips now. It's given me the inspiration to keep doing it. I'm not making any political judgment on the war and the right and wrong of it and all that, but when you see the struggle that the actual people face, when I went there, you just got to imagine it's like waking up and your local shopping centre and all the houses had just been wiped out in the morning, and you've got no, until you understand and see that, it's very hard to comprehend, because that makes even nappies, toothpaste, and dog food, anything like that, once that happens, all them things are real big things for you to just have possession of. we take everything from sanitary towels for ladies, medical aid, toothpaste, food, anything that we take for granted here on a daily basis. Out there is really, really like gold dust to them. Do you know what I mean? There's you just can't. I can't really explain how crazy it is. Just a packet of toothpaste out there and a bowl of soup means everything, because like a shopping centre is just destroyed overnight with a bomb, and there is nothing. Their whole chain of how they supply stuff and everything is just destroyed in one go.
Yeah, why did you decide to do this, Brendan? Were you just thought you'd do it for yourself, or were you?
I done it. A mate of mine was doing it, and he needed someone to go with him, and the driver that he had booked let him down. So I went with him, done the drive with him, got there, seen the actual. I met a couple of. I met a lady and her sons who'd just come from Chernobyl at the time, and she'd lost everything.
Yeah,
and you could just see the devastation. And the children, the 3 little kids with her, and they were just so ecstatic to just get nappies and sanitary towels and just basic things. I'm not talking about the politics of the war. I'm just saying, when you see that, and it's only sort of 24 hours away from us.
Yeah, it's not far. I mean, that's great work, Brendan. I mean, so you are a real life saint. So,
but
folks,
I'm pleased. I'm genuinely pleased I've done it, and will definitely, if the chance comes up, I'll do it again.
So back to the football. The fellow Luis Rubiales, the president of the Royal Spanish Football Federation, has finally got the chop. Was that the right decision? He's resigned.
What on earth is happening to the world, right? The man kissed a girl on the lips. Maybe not the best thing to do, but they just won the World Cup final. He's listen, they're Spanish, they're Mediterranean, they're a little bit excitable anyway, right? But why couldn't someone pull him after the game, get that girl to have a meeting with him in private and say, listen, I apologise if I've offended you, I apologise in private. Why have they had to have a public disgrace of the man? And you sacked the manager that won the World Cup.
And apparently the ladies in the team, they've got a female manager, and they're not happy with her either. So it's just gone to pot,
I mean, he's hardly a Russell Brand greaser, is he?
Yeah, Russell Brand. It's all that's a whole program, that is. So only a few more things before we go here. I was going to ask you, who was we do a kind of like pub thing at the end. Who your favourite footballer is?
My favourite footballer.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I said, that's over generations. You probably have a different one every 10 years, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? But I mean, growing up, George Best was the idol for most of us kids in the 70s, without a doubt. Do you know what I mean? Today will be Ronaldo and Messi, won't it? You know what I mean? But
although there's a new candidate for my favourite footballer now, she plays for Aston Villa. She's supposed to be the world's sexiest footballer, and that is Alisha Lehmann. Have you seen her?
I've not even seen her, to be honest, because I don't follow all that OnlyFans stuff and that. But, listen, it's great for women, because if that sells them in the football, if their little bit of fame comes out of promoting their beauty and their good looks, do you know what I mean? Which, to be honest, is not much of that in women's football, if I'm honest.
You be honest, Brendan. You be honest. Yeah. Well, she's got 15.2 million followers on Instagram. A very attractive lady, and loads of sponsorship deals. And she's the David Beckham of the women's football world. So check her out.
But do any of them actually watch her play football?
Unlikely. Before we go, just want to remind folks we had 2 fantastic interviews with Frank McAvennie, didn't we? They were great, weren't they?
He's an absolute star, Frank, and he's a really, really funny man. I'm so honoured that he come on and spoke to us.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen them, we'll put the links below. And prior to that, we did Chelsea legend Alan Hudson, and we did 4 or 5 of those. Fantastic, wasn't it? And on that note, we've done a lot more than 5 minutes again. Yeah, we're looking for new names for this show. We're going to be back next week, and we're going to be bringing some names in the future. Any idea who we're going to get on in the future, Brendan?
I've got a couple in the pipeline. I don't want to reveal them yet, but there is a couple of good candidates in the pipeline who are very entertaining. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Maybe it's going to be the Aston Villa footballer, the rather glamorous one, I'm hoping.
I'd more than happy to talk to her anytime she wants.
All right, folks. See you soon.
Thanks, everybody. See you in a bit. Bye.